Welcome to the Worst of the Riot podcast. It's the Monday, December 11th edition. Isaiah is back from his trip today in our fine show. We talk about Squid Game, the challenge, and your behavior when you're waiting for a big payment to drop into your account.
We also talk about how much someone would have to offer you for you to give up your dog.
It's a shockingly low amount for me anyways. We also talk about, we try to predict what we'll be nostalgic for years from now, years down the line. And why today, if you're actually listening to this on Monday, December 11th, you might be walking on eggshells a little bit. You might want to play it safe because it's a dangerous day for many.
It's a good show.
A mighty fine show. Enjoy. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. RadioU.
Isaiah, quick. Name a woman.
My mother.
Telling that I ask you to name a woman and the first one that comes to mind isn't your girlfriend.
Well, my mom, I talked to her this morning on the phone. So she's been the only lady I've interacted with today.
That's a pretty good answer.
You can never go wrong with your mother.
I don't know. Maybe some could. I don't know if you've seen this challenge going around on TikTok, inspired by the great Billy Eichner, who came up with the Name a Woman challenge on Billy on the Street. And now women are using it against their boyfriends in a playful way. But what it's showcasing is that most guys, you ask them to name a woman, the first name that comes to mind is not their girlfriend. It seems, based off of this challenge.
It could be any name.
It could.
Any
woman.
And the craziest part is, no matter what woman you say, they could start a fight.
Yeah.
Based off of your answer.
I don't think anybody's breaking up with anybody over this necessarily.
No,
Maybe if you name an ex, maybe.
That'd be crazy.
But
what a wild answer that would be.
That would be, problematic. It is an interesting little test though, and it could just be the ones that I've seen, the ones that are highlighted here. But it seems that many guys' answers fall in line with the old Roman Empire question, where dudes just constantly thinking about history. It seems because we're getting answers like Harriet Tubman, Susan B. Anthony, Anne Frank, Rosa Parks. That's the first women.
But you think about name a woman, then you start thinking of well-known women.
Yep.
Famous women.
And ones that are from the past.
Historical.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That's the route that I would probably think too.
Yeah. Now, I can't do this challenge now because I've seen it, like I'm prepared for it. But I do feel like it'd be good for guys to start preparing.
Oh, you have to be ready for this.
Actually, I don't know. Do you think it might be better to just answer off the cuff? Or
No.
I think if you prepare now, maybe you overthink it.
I think that all you need to do when they ask you is just say your wife's name. It'll be that easy.
I guess that's pretty. I mean, how could that be a negative, right?
Exactly.
How could that?
And then when she says, "Have you seen the challenge?" You say, "No, I haven't seen it."
Yeah, but then that could be a lie.
It's okay to lie sometimes.
No,
when it's making you look good like this.
If you get caught, then for some reason that makes it worse.
She says, "Have you seen the? You've seen the challenge?" No, I haven't seen it. But you're right in front of me. Obviously, I'm going to say your name, but just thinking about you. Clearly.
Yeah. I want to do this on my wife. Name a man.
Maybe we flip the script on him.
Yeah, flip the script.
Name a man.
What do you think she would say?
I don't know. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
It could be anyone.
I doubt it'd be me.
What's worst case scenario, you know? She says like Chris Hemsworth?
No, that wouldn't bother me. That could be the flip. That wouldn't bother me. If I named like a sexy celebrity, it might bother her. So I probably wouldn't go that route now that I'm prepared. I would go historical or wife.
I saw Little Debbie as a good answer.
Little Debbie.
How about Wendy from Wendy's?
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
What is your top takeaway from a weekend that features tons of big games?
There was a lot of great games this weekend. Obviously, the Pinnacles yesterday late afternoon as well as yesterday evening. Last night, the Cowboys ran through the Eagles. Huge victory for Nene and the state of Texas.
How much do you want to avoid him today?
You got to avoid Nene on a day like this.
Yeah.
They blew out the Eagles. Jalen Hurts and
his chief rival.
Philly just not looking right.
And he's been playing a card lately of like, we never get any credit.
Yep.
And so he's going to come in today wanting all kinds of credit.
So the Cowboys
I guess
got the big
deserved.
one.
They did win.
No, they
Big.
deserve it.
Yeah.
Taking over first place in their division, looking good for the playoffs. Also, the mid-afternoon game, Bills-Chiefs. Great game.
Mm-hmm.
Controversial ending.
Was it controversial?
It's controversial ending for the Chiefs, and only Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, I think. Everybody else watching with a unbiased eye could clearly see that Kadarius Toney was, in fact, offsides.
Mm-hmm.
And oddly enough, you do have to follow the rules.
Even if you're the Chiefs, even if you're Patrick Mahomes.
The Chiefs, at the end of their game against the Bills, had a play where they unfortunately lined up offsides. They did end up scoring on that play. That would have been the game go-ahead score with the minute left.
And an impressive touchdown, too.
A wild
lateral. There's not enough laterals.
We've been talking about that.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs very upset that they had to follow the rules. They said it didn't really affect the play, which it didn't. They're right.
But you still...
But unfortunately, you have to follow the rules.
Yeah.
The Browns get called for like an illegal formation at least twice a game. So it happens they said that same call has happened 11 times thus far this year.
All right, let's do this. Chiefs and Eagles both lost yesterday.
Yes.
Both their second loss in a row, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both were in the Super Bowl last year. Who's more likely cooked for this season?
I think it is the Chiefs.
And why is that?
I think for the Eagles, their team coming into the NFC, I see their route being a little bit easier throughout the playoffs. Because they still have a chance as well to have home field advantage. I know the Cowboys are ahead of them right now, but they have a couple weeks left. They can still take over that one seed, and they still have a chance at home field advantage, where the Chiefs, I do not see them in the AFC. They're 2 games back from the Ravens. They're 1.5 back from the Dolphins. I don't see them overtaking either of those teams the rest of the way. They're going to be on the road in the playoffs, and I don't think that bodes as well for them as it may for the Eagles. If the Eagles go on the road in the playoffs, I think they're going to handle that better than the Chiefs are.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'll tell you why. I think the Eagles are a better team. However, as much as I like the Eagles, if they're going on the road, if they don't have home field advantage, I think that's more important to them, although they can still get it back. The Cowboys have a tough schedule the rest of the season. But the Chiefs, I just don't see any team standing in their way in the AFC that concerns me. I know the Chiefs, they've had a few screw-ups, some of the attention to detail, just their receivers, not what you're looking for from a Super Bowl team. But I look at the rest of the teams in the AFC, it's a bunch of teams with backup quarterbacks or just teams I don't trust when it comes playoff time. And so I still think the Chiefs, you give me Patrick Mahomes making the Super Bowl, I'll take it.
I'll talk about backup quarterbacks. Let's talk about Joe Flacco leading the Brownies to possibly a playoff berth. Book your ticket today. The Browns are going to the playoffs. I don't care what you say the rest of the way. 2 more wins and we're there. Sitting at the 5 seed right now. We went again against the Jags. Trevor Lawrence and the Jags. We have the same record as the Chiefs. When do we start being taken seriously? When are we talking Browns Super Bowl?
I don't know what I would like to avoid more the rest of this season. This song or here we go. It's a tough call.
I'll tell you this much. Cleveland, get ready for the playoffs. Find me the Chiefs in the first round. Find me the Jags in the first round. We got Joe Flacco, baby.
Super Bowl winner.
Super Bowl little Super Bowl experience on our team.
Yeah.
How many other AFC quarterbacks have been in the Super Bowl other than Joe Flacco? Not very many. I'm seeing 1.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, RadioU.
It's time for our Monday tradition, the box office breakdown, letting you know what made money and what didn't. The box office over the weekend. And, of course, let us know what you watched the past few days at 8772 RadioU. Not exactly a whirlwind weekend of people going to the movies, it looks like. Because the number one movie made just over $10 million. That's not much in an opening weekend.
That's not great.
Not much overall. It is much, though, when you consider what the movie is. It's called The Boy and the Heron. Isaiah, you know what that is?
Sounds familiar.
It's not. It is a anime movie. It's by Hayao Miyazaki. I don't know if you've ever seen a movie called, probably his most famous one would be Spirited Away.
Not familiar.
No, yeah, it's anime. I've never seen any of his movies. I know he's very, very highly thought of in the anime world.
That was the number one movie over the weekend?
That was the number one movie, yep. $10 million in North America. And you could be forgiven.
You know the main character's name? Mahito.
Mahito.
A young 12-year-old boy who struggles to settle in a new town after his mother's death. However, when a talking heron informs Mahito that his mother is still alive, he enters an abandoned tower in search of her, which takes him to another world.
Ooh, mystical. Yeah, that was the number one movie. Now, rave reviews for it. So if you're into that, great reviews. Now you could be forgiven, Isaiah, for thinking that we're talking about the Japanese box office, because now the number two movie was The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That made another $9 million. But they might watch that in Japan. But number three was another Japanese movie, Godzilla Minus One. In its second week on the charts, it made another $8 million.
A little bit of a drop-off there for Godzilla.
Yeah,
from last week.
A 26.9% drop-off. And then you had Trolls Band Together, number 4, and Wish coming in at number 5. Isaiah, what have you watched as of late?
Over the weekend, I watched a couple movies. I watched the Jim Carrey Grinch on Friday.
Okay.
Getting myself into the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, I'll say.
I also watched Elf recently as well.
I also watched Elf.
And then I also watched Frozen on Friday.
Do you consider that a Christmas movie?
It felt Christmassy because there was snow.
Yeah. Very wintry
I
movie.
thought it felt like it fit in. It went The Grinch, Frozen, then Elf on Friday night.
Did you know two things? One, did you know that there is an Elf animated musical movie starring Jim Parsons, a.k.a. Sheldon?
I did not know that.
Neither did I. It came out like 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, like claymation style. I don't know where you can watch it, but I was recently informed of that. Another question. What is the best song in Frozen?
I mean, people would say Let It Go is probably the most popular one.
Of course they would.
I don't know if I would agree with that. I think it's pretty good.
What's the song that they're singing when they're like, when it ends with like, can I say something crazy? Will you marry me? Whatever that song is. I think that one's better.
That's the best one.
I'll say it, yeah. Also, another thing about me, when I sing that song, I sing the girl part.
Yeah, we'll let you live with that one.
What did you watch this weekend? 8772 RadioU. Let us know if it was good or bad or whatever. What Christmas movies you're getting into.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on RadioU.
I just thought everybody might like to be on edge today. Everybody in a relationship. Did you know today, National Breakup Day? December 11th is the most popular day for breakups in the entire year.
It seems like it would be in bad taste to break up with someone today then, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
Like, today's National Breakup Day, the number one day for breakups. You're really going to break up with someone on the most common day of breakups?
So basic if you did it today. Hold off till tomorrow.
It'd be weird to do it today.
And if you do it tomorrow, more unexpected. Today, they might see it coming.
They feel like as if they've gone over the hill.
Yeah.
You know?
They're like, if I can just make it through December 11th, then it's smooth sailing through Christmas. Nope. Show them tomorrow.
Surprise.
Yeah. This is official. Like, this is track data now. It was coined as Breakup Day back in 2008. And this is how old this is that in 2008, they figured out this was the biggest day for breakups because it was when the most people on Facebook changed their status from in a relationship to single.
Well, that's a good way to tell.
But yeah, in 2008, it was. Not as much now, but the statistics seem to have held true throughout the years. And so still, today is the day. If a breakup's going to happen, statistically, it's most likely going to happen today.
See, I think this is a little bit late. Don't you think? It feels too late. Like, you got to wait till the start of the new year at this point.
I don't think so.
December 11th. I mean, we made it through Thanksgiving. It would be weird for you to take your girlfriend to Thanksgiving, and then a month later, you go to Christmas and everyone's like, where's she at?
Yeah, what happened to Stacey?
We just saw her. And, like, your, like, extended family, your cousins, like, you're not going to be up telling, like, all these people throughout this next month, like, your relationship status has changed so quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas if you wait till the new year, then you don't have to worry about a family gathering for, like, 11 months, maybe 6 months if you do the 4th of July. And then by the time that rolls around, they'll have already known. Word will have made its way down the grapevine. You don't have to really talk about
but that's
it.
the only thing that factors into your decision, though.
I'm just saying, this seems like a bad time to do it.
If you're in an unhappy relationship, you want that to stick with you the next 14 days, ruin your holiday?
I'm just saying, I think you're a little late. Like, if you're this upset, you think you would have done it like a month ago.
Well, it says here, according to dating expert Yu Zhu, the holidays can bring up a lot of emotions and challenges for new couples. So, yeah, like maybe you made it through Thanksgiving and things seemed okay, but the holidays make a bunch of stuff bubble up to the surface that if it's your first go round through the Christmas season, you may find maybe that's part of the contention. Oh, I thought we were going to my parents. I thought we were going to my parents. I thought we were doing this, you know?
You're going to call it.
The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie.
I just think it's
a
wild.
tough day.
I think if you're doing it today, yet again, this is a crazy time to break up with somebody.
You got to walk on eggshells. I think this is good. It's early enough. You probably haven't bought them a gift yet.
I mean, if you haven't bought anybody any gifts yet again, you're late. It's December. It's 11th.
December 11th.
We're 2 weeks away. You haven't bought a gift yet?
You haven't bought a gift for your significant other?
Guess you're waiting to the last minute here.
You're going to hold off? It's not the last minute.
We're 2 weeks away.
It's
Today's
2
the number
weeks.
one day in shopping. Today's also the number one day to buy Christmas gifts, oddly enough. So maybe you're good then. You break up and then you don't have to buy him a gift, I guess.
Daryl says, my brother-in-law broke up between Christmas and Thanksgiving just about every year. It's a routine. He became known for it.
Yeah, because his whole family saw him bring his girl to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, where's she at? See, that's what I'm talking about. You got to go through that explanation. That's a part of Christmas. For Daryl, it's a Christmas tradition. Well,
it is, but what's worse?
Let's ask you what happened in this relationship.
What's worse, having to explain why you broke up with whoever at Christmas time, or having to try to not fight with whoever, and maybe you have to go hang out around their family because you just can't pull the trigger and break up with them, and then you're hanging around their family. You're upset. They're upset. Maybe they're oblivious. I don't know if that's better. That they think everything's going fine.
Sounds like you should have broke up with this person months ago if you have so much hatred towards them.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on RadioU.
Check this out. I've got here what they're calling the Happy Brew Year box that you could get for somebody that you hate because it's a year supply of Maxwell House K-Cups.
You're not a fan of those, I assume?
Oh, that Maxwell House is not good coffee. There's a reason we don't stock it here at Radio U. Although you can't argue with the savings of the Happy Brew Year box. Maxwell House is offering this, which would provide you 366 days worth of Keurig coffee pods, because next year's a leap year. And that would only cost you $95 for a year's worth of coffee. 1 cup of coffee per day.
That's unbelievable.
When you consider...
That's a good deal.
Yeah. And then you think about, the stats are right here. The average coffee drinker spends approximately $1,100 on coffee each year. I don't know where they're getting those numbers from. But that means that's a if you were to buy this for yourself, that's a 90% savings.
This is essentially 26 cents a cup every day.
Yeah. So you could also ignore those commercials about helping children. You'd be like, oh, for 26 cents a day? Really? I could help a child with that?
26 cents a day for coffee seems like a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with Maxwell House? Never had it.
It's like really the lowest of the low-end coffee. It's like...
Can creamer help it? Like, can't the creamer just help it?
Yeah, creamer can...
Cover it up?
Yeah. If that's how you drink. Yeah, for you, maybe Maxwell House wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
But then in that case, I would just say to you, like, why not just put creamer in hot water?
But because...
That's pretty much what I would say.
Well, because I'm not drinking it for the cream. I mean, it has the caffeine in it. That's the point of the
true.
coffee.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking for taste here. Or else I would drink a Mountain Dew when I get in here.
Then Maxwell House would probably be, just fine for you, I guess.
Perfect. We need a Keurig here, and I'll buy it.
Yeah. Hey, there's been chats of a Keurig, possibly.
Well, then this should be our deal.
As the coffee drinkers here have dwindled.
This makes the most sense for us. Why don't we delve into this here at Radio U?
Cost efficient because I would spit it out. I don't put creamer in my coffee. So what am I?
Sorry about
what
it.
am I to do?
It's the free coffee that we get here, man.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to get the best stuff. I think Maxwell House, $95 in a year. I'll pitch that to management.
We could
think of all the money we're saving.
We could get this, and then maybe we wouldn't have to do a fundraiser.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
We'd be saving $1,000
easily.
Yeah.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Found these over the weekend. The brand new flavor of holiday M&Ms, toasty vanilla. And I'll tell you, first thoughts, they smell immaculate.
As Christmas things do.
Yeah.
Christmas just is a good scent. A warm, good scent.
It's true. And I feel like I've said this possibly about M&Ms before. Even if they don't taste good, some of their flavors, good enough that you want to eat them all the time, they're worth having just sitting in a bowl because they smell so good. They have a candle essence to them.
They do.
So now they have 3 different colors, and without tasting them, we don't have any confirmation on if the different colors are different flavors that make up toasty vanilla, or if they're all just the same and they're different colors on the outside.
But I'm excited to try them. Are you a fan of M&Ms? I know we've talked this before. I don't love them.
The standard M&Ms do not tempt me whatsoever. Many of the flavored M&Ms are halfway decent. Obviously, peanut butter M's are like the pinnacle of M&M, and most other M&Ms are fine. But I don't seek out M&Ms very often.
Well, now that I've got one in my mouth, it's a wild flavor. You're not going to be ready for what you're about to get. Taste that.
Which color did you?
I went white.
I went whatever this like beige-ish color is. I like it.
Tastes pretty good, huh?
Is there I'll say it, one of the better M&Ms I've ever had. Let me see what's going on inside. Oh, they're white inside. Are they white chocolate? Does it say on the back?
They're white chocolate, yeah.
They're white chocolate.
Yeah.
So,
yummy.
Going in knowing that, some people just don't like white chocolate. These would not be for you.
I am not a huge fan of white chocolate, but I think that tastes pretty good. I don't know how to describe it at all.
Yeah, does it remind you of something? It reminds me...
It reminds me of like a drink for some reason.
Well, it's supposed to be, I think, a toasty vanilla, like a latte. Isn't the lady M&M holding a latte or something in the picture?
She's holding some sort of beverage.
A steamy beverage.
Toasty vanilla.
Okay, I'm confident in saying all the colors are the same flavor.
You think so?
Uh-huh. I like these a lot.
Tastes good. I think they might get old.
Yeah, they're very sweet.
You couldn't do a whole bag.
I don't know if my teeth are up for this.
You could share a small bag with someone.
Mm-hmm.
Or, no, this is what you do.
What do you do?
Because they smell so good,
Mm-hmm.
you have them at your house, you just pour them into a little container.
Uh-huh.
That like sits on your counter.
Yeah.
The children can put their hands in, their grimy little hands in, and they can
spread
eat it.
the germs.
Mm-hmm.
What rating would you give these?
They're pretty good. I would give them like a 3.7.
3.7. See, by the way,
that feels high.
I mean,
for M&Ms?
In comparison to what? Yeah.
Like a 4 is I would buy them.
Yeah.
They're like they're almost buy-worthy. And I don't know if I've ever bought M&Ms.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a fan of them.
Actually, that's a good thought. So I'd put 3.9 because I'd very nearly consider buying these. Now, if I told you how much these cost, you probably would drop them down a few ratings.
Are they expensive?
$5.99.
No, they're not. Well, this is a big bag. This is a big bag. This isn't the little bag. This is the next size up. But that's expensive.
$5.99 for candy, though.
For a big, I mean, it's a jumbo bag. We've got a jumbo bag. Expensive.
Yeah.
Good though. If you like M&Ms, you should try these. For sure, try them.
White chocolate. If you like M&Ms. If you like vanilla.
We're speaking your language.
Yeah, these all hit home. I mean, I am not going to be upset to have these sitting around in the break room for a little bit. Just every once in a while, grab a handful. But
these won't last.
Yeah, you don't think so?
Nope. They never do.
They never do.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. RadioU.
Chime in here, maybe with the Riot hotline, perhaps. Because I've got a good question here. We spend a lot of time on the show talking about stuff that people miss from years ago, mostly like the last 20, 30 years, looking back at what people miss from the past and fashions and different trends that come back into style. So here's the question. What do you think now we will miss about this time 20 years from now?
That's a great question.
Look into your crystal ball, look into the future, and think about what is good about now that's not going to last. And 20 years from now, we're going to be like, I wish it was like it was in 2023 when blank.
When we were doing that.
Yeah.
When this was in style.
Yeah, when people were wearing this, listening to this, talking about this. 8772 Radio U.
There's going to be some good answers for this. A lot of it is like style, music, pop culture. There's a lot of that nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird now because like so much of our culture now is so digital and social media to where before, like when you think about nostalgic events that happened, you imagine them all happening on TV. Right? And 20 years from now, all the nostalgic events that you'll imagine thinking about seeing them on Facebook.
Right.
Or when you saw the video
TikTok,
on Twitter.
probably,
on TikTok or whatever it is. Like I'm thinking historical events.
Yeah.
People like, I remember seeing when we landed on the moon on TV.
Right.
Right? That's nostalgic. When's the last time we had something big happen on TV that you watched and you saw it for the first time on TV? That has not happened to you probably in a very long time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think about the biggest, like most broadly talked about American events. You think about...
Because I get all that off Twitter or Facebook. So when I'm reading through Twitter, that's like when I think back to when this happened, I'm like, well, what were people saying? I was reading the comments.
And, well, when you think about it that way, too, so much stuff that people miss, like it's physical things, too. And more, we have less physical stuff, right? And more stuff in the digital realm.
The first thing that I think of, because we're talking about it right now,
Yeah.
is thinking about how nostalgic even just regular TV could be.
That's true.
I mean, right now it is moving away. You think about the people that had DirecTV and all the different cable packages. I mean, those numbers have shot way down as of late.
Yeah.
I used to love just scrolling through TV.
But here's something that's tough to think about is that, like, one thing, if you ask somebody now, what do you miss about 20 years ago? I miss CDs. I miss video. I miss DVDs. But what are we going to miss? I miss Spotify.
No chance.
Yeah, I don't think that's going away, right?
That's something.
Like,
I mean,
how
no,
could that be improved
brands
upon?
making new.
I don't know. So we'll see what people are saying. 8772 RadioU. What will we miss about 2023, 20 years from now? It could be anything. Let us know what you think. We'll see what people are saying next.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on RadioU.
The question right now is, looking forward, look into your crystal ball. 20 years from now, what do you think we'll be looking back and saying, man, I missed that about the early 2020s? What do you think it will be that's going to go by the wayside that we'll miss? Let's see. Dave says, we won't miss it, but Michigan's winning streak in the game will be a distant memory.
I like that thought.
And a close second might be the cable TV package.
I agree.
That already, in a sense, feels out of date, the cable TV. However, I don't know if you saw this. Verizon, they've got some kind of deal where you can bundle Max and Netflix and get them both if you're a Verizon subscriber. What if it's actually all going to come back around because all the streaming services are so expensive that it won't be cable TV, but you'll be able to get a package where you're like, all right, I want Hulu, Disney Plus, and Max, and that's what I want, like my bundle. You know what I mean? Where it'll be essentially the same thing. It's just delivered in a different way.
It's gonna have to be a lot of them because right now so many channels are still. I mean, if we think about just HBO and Netflix, and act as if that's every channel that there is, but there's so many channels that are gonna have to go to some sort of other form of streaming. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
there's gonna be a lot of options. The Food Channel's got to go somewhere.
It's got to go somewhere.
The Food Network. TNT, TBS, these places, they will go somewhere.
Julia says, we'll probably end up missing having people serve us in fast food restaurants or checking us out at grocery stores.
Now we're thinking.
Now that is thinking ahead. I'm just trying to figure out if we're actually going to miss that. But then again, you know what? When things are 20 years in the past, you're not always exactly the most clear-eyed about it. So 20 years from now, we might be looking back. It's like, remember when people used to serve us at fast food restaurants? Those were the days. Even though, like, now, is anybody like fired up that we love fast food service? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we'll have more of a happier thoughts about it 20 years from now, probably, if we're just getting served by robots.
That's how all nostalgia works. Everything was better 20 years ago.
Yeah. It was just
Have
better.
you ever heard someone say that it was worse? I mean, that's never happened, right?
Remember the bad old days?
The bad days, man.
Yeah.
20 years ago. No.
But that said, if you're asking me to make a choice now, given the information, I do think I'd take the current fast food, like actual people versus robots, but who knows? TJ, got another football reference, probably contact in the NFL.
It is getting awful soft.
Yeah. Every player would just get their own little bubble. Something like that, which actually could be entertaining. D says 20 years from now, will probably be the friends and family that are no longer with us because life is all about relationships. Now, that might seem a little sappy on the surface, but I actually think that's true. You think about like a lot of the people like nostalgic, looking back on like, oh, I miss old Christmas. Like Christmas was better. Now, all the trends of like 20, 30 years ago, Christmas stuff, the way people used to decorate their trees and stuff, it's coming back into fashion. It's not because that was a great fashion of that time. It's like, oh, I miss going to my grandma's house.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that we will miss will play a big role in the things and the styles we miss as well. I think that's a good point.
I like that one. A lot of the like Christmas tradition stuff probably
Yeah.
changes over time for everybody.
I also see here, like I looked up what people tend to be the most nostalgic about. And I don't know if this will be the same going forward, but right now it's TV shows. Like you ask somebody who grew up in each different decade and they probably have a different TV show that they tell you, man, I miss when this was on TV. But will that be the same when, again, we're talking about like how streaming services have just changed everything?
Yeah, you'll think back to the first time that you saw a certain show that you're like in love with or obsessed with. And that'll be with whatever decade it was.
Yeah.
Whatever your show is right now that you're obsessed with, you'll remember it then.
I don't know. I wonder if like video game consoles will be another. That's my last one. If like we really continue to get VR and stuff pushed on us like that, we're going to be like, remember when you could just play a video game on your TV or your phone? You didn't have to have a headset.
That's true.
That could be. I don't know.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Here's a question for you. Let's say somebody came up to you and offered you $200,000 for Jim the dog. What would you do?
Do they have some sort of like what's their motive? I wouldn't buy it. I would think it's a scam.
So in other words, you're questioning them.
I'm questioning why you would want. I mean, you could have probably bought a Basset for $199,000 less. I'm actually certain of it.
Yeah.
Why do you want this one so bad?
Maybe, I mean, I don't know how like show dogs work. Maybe he looks like he'd be a good like dog for the Kennel Club show.
If someone came to me and said $200K for Jim, I would have to assume they were going to do something to him. There's no way that they would pay that much for my dog.
Dog fighting.
Yeah, something. Something he wouldn't like. He really likes to relax.
Yeah.
And we've got a pretty good spot for him for that. He likes to lay in my bed, take a walk every now and then, and sleep most of the day.
So how much would somebody have to offer you for Jim the dog before you would give him up?
Oh, way less than that.
Oh, so it's not the money that's the issue.
Oh, I mean, $200K?
Yeah.
That's an unbelievable amount for a dog. That's a lot of money. I mean, it would be hard to give up your dog for any amount of money. I don't know what the number would be. I've never really considered how much money I would need to give up my dog. He's like my kid. How do I get rid of him?
But he's not a kid.
He's not.
He's a dog.
And I know this is the other thing about Jim. He loves people. I know that he would be very happy.
He would embrace his
with
new
anybody.
surroundings, I bet.
Oh, I
with
guarantee.
this new rich owner.
True, I didn't think about that.
It actually could be
better life for him.
That's right.
The dog food he's going to be fed way better. And he loves people.
He might have like a nanny that gets to take care of him.
It's not like when he's around, like, it's not like when a new guest enters my home.
Yeah.
It's not like he's like favoring me.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody new could walk in and he might like them better.
He would
right
try
off
to
the
leave
rip.
with them.
Yeah, exactly. He does every time
For
someone
free.
leaves. And so when I think about Jim, he's so friendly, loves people so much. I don't even think he has a little bit more care for me than any random person.
The reason I bring this up is because there's a woman on TikTok who claims that she was offered $200,000, a legit offer for her Doberman Pinscher puppy. She said absolutely not.
No chance.
She claims that it was a real offer, and she said no. She told her husband, we are not doing this, and they kept the dog, if she can be believed. The comments, surprisingly, at least to me, there are several comments questioning why you would not take that amount of money. Think about it. Even if you love your dog, think about how many dogs you could buy your own self with $200,000.
It doesn't even make any sense. I'm so confused. Why is somebody offering $200K for their dog?
Yeah. It's an unlikely story. I saw this and then I started thinking, so how much would it cost for me to give up Zafira the dog? And I thought if it's more money than I've ever had in my bank account in my life, then I'd probably take it. Saphira's getting kind of old anyways. She needs somebody with more money that can take better care of her, is what I could tell myself.
Somebody maybe with that extra moolah. It's taking me 30 seconds, approximately. I have found many a Doberman Pinscher puppies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're expensive. They're like $3,000. But $200K? I've got Thor right here looking for a home. What about Kane for $2,000? Margot, $3,400. Not $200K. Just a quick Google search, you can find one. Rocky, right here.
A fraction of the $200K. It's hard to believe, but even if it was $20K, which might be a little easier to believe, it'd still be hard to say no, wouldn't it?
That'd be tough.
It would be tough. What do you think? 8772 RadioU. How much would it take for you to sell your dog?
What a great question for everybody this morning.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
Have you watched any of Squid Game, The Challenge on Netflix?
I've seen videos of it on TikTok.
Uh-huh.
I did not watch it on Netflix, though. I've seen a lot of the videos on TikTok.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people have watched it. My wife has been reporting to me on it. I haven't watched any of it myself. But spoiler alert, obviously it's wrapped filming months ago, in February to be exact. And the final episode has been aired. So we know who the winner is. If you're still waiting to get to that, pause, because here it is. The winner is May Whelan. She's 55 years old. She's a immigration adjudicator and U.S. Navy veteran, and she won the finale in a game of rock, paper, scissors. That means she won $4.56 million. The second biggest TV prize, second biggest prize in reality TV ever. But here's the problem. According to her, she hasn't received 1 red cent of it.
Well, how long ago? How long are we talking? How long has she been waiting?
She won in February. The show finished.
I guess it's almost been a year.
Yeah, that's right. It's getting close to a year now. She says, I feel like Tom Cruise and Jerry Maguire. Can we get a more current reference, May? I know you're 55, but
you got to think about this, too. Maybe they're just scrapping things together. They're waiting for everybody to watch it on Netflix.
Netflix is just cobbling it. Well, if they gave her the $4.56 million before the finale actually aired, it'd be obvious that she had won because she'd be out flaunting it.
Her Instagram and everything.
Yeah. All of a sudden,
you
she's
could
much
easily
richer.
tell.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, they might not have had the 4.56. Maybe they were counting on this thing popping off.
Yeah.
To really roll in some dough.
You think so?
Must have been, because they haven't given it to her yet.
But now the finale is aired, and the show has popped off a little bit. I know they're going to be making subsequent seasons of Squid Game: The Challenge. They're bringing it back. So why is she not getting her money at this point?
Well, she's going to get it soon. It's on the way.
How long is she supposed to wait?
Well, I also think it can't be that easy to just give someone $5 million,
No,
There seems like there's going to be a lot of paperwork behind the scenes.
Why don't you give them an annuity or something? Is that how it works? I've seen J.G. Wentworth commercials.
Nobody's offered me $5 million yet. I'm not sure. But I feel like it might take a little bit of time before you're going to get your money.
I think 9 months feels like it's been long enough to me. And imagine being in that limbo too. You win the show in February, you're getting $5 million almost. And then how are you supposed to live normal life for the next 9 months?
Knowing that it's coming soon. Do you start buying things now? Have you bought things already?
Yeah, you can't, right?
Not till that check cashes.
And that's actually, you know what? I've been in not $5 million situations, but just when you have money on the way and you do start spending a little freer, I think, unless you have a lot of discipline, which most of us don't. You're just like, I'll open the credit card. I'll be able to pay it off whenever this.
And then she's like, oh
$5
my
mil
gosh.
hits.
Her credit score is just dwindling right now.
Yeah, that's right.
As she is just waiting to pay off all the things she's bought.
Yeah.
You think about this too. I mean, if you win the lottery, it says that it usually takes 6 to 8 weeks for them to get you that money. So if they can figure it out, what's Squid Game's doing here?
Well, it's the first time they've done this. The lotteries.
True.
Yeah, but it's got to be in a contract, though. She probably had to sign some contract of like, we'll pay you
within 7 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Once
she
we
didn't
make
read
enough
the
money.
fine print.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on RadioU.
Have you watched any of Squid Game, The Challenge on Netflix?
I've seen videos of it on TikTok.
Uh-huh.
I did not watch it on Netflix, though. I've seen a lot of the videos on TikTok.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people have watched it. My wife has been reporting to me on it. I haven't watched any of it myself. But spoiler alert, I guess, obviously it's wrapped filming months ago, in February to be exact. And the final episode has been aired. So we know who the winner is. If you're still waiting to get to that, pause, because here it is. The winner is May Whelan. She's 55 years old. She's a immigration adjudicator and U.S. Navy veteran, and she won the finale in a game of rock, paper, scissors. That means she won $4.56 million. The second biggest TV prize, second biggest prize in reality TV ever. But here's the problem. According to her, she hasn't received 1 red cent of it.
Well, how long ago, how long are we talking? How long has she been waiting?
She won in February. The show finished.
I guess it's almost been a year.
Yeah, that's right. It's getting close to a year now. She says, I feel like Tom Cruise and Jerry Maguire. Can we get a more current reference, May? I know you're 55, but it's an old
You got to
movie.
think about this, too. Maybe they're just scrapping things together. They're waiting for everybody to watch it on Netflix.
Netflix is just cobbling it. Well, if they gave her the $4.56 million before the finale actually aired, it'd be obvious that she had won because she'd be out flaunting it.
Her Instagram and everything.
Yeah. All of a sudden,
you
she's
could
much
easily
richer.
tell.
Yeah.
And also, at the same time, they might not have had the 4.56. Maybe they were counting on this thing popping off.
Yeah.
To really roll in some dough.
You think so?
Must have been, because they haven't given it to her yet.
But now the finale is aired, and the show has popped off a little bit. I know they're making, they're going to be making subsequent seasons of Squid Game: The Challenge. They're bringing it back. So why is she not getting her money at this point?
Well, she's going to get it soon. It's on the way.
How long is she supposed to wait?
Well, I also think it can't be that easy to just give someone $5 million,
No,
There seems like there's going to be a lot of paperwork behind the scenes.
Why don't you give them an annuity or something? Is that how it works? I've seen J.G. Wentworth commercials.
Nobody's offered me $5 million yet. I'm not sure. But I feel like it might take a little bit of time before you're going to get your money.
I think 9 months feels like it's been long enough to me. And imagine being in that limbo too. You win the show in February, you're getting $5 million almost. And then how are you supposed to live normal life for the next 9 months?
Knowing that it's coming soon.
Yeah.
You start buying things now. Have you bought things already?
Yeah, you can't, right?
Not till that check cashes.
And that's actually, you know what? I've been in not $5 million situations, but just when you have money on the way and you do start spending a little freer, I think, unless you have a lot of discipline, which most of us don't. You're just like, I'll open the credit card. I'll be able to pay it off whenever this.
And then she's like, oh
$5
my
million
gosh.
hits.
Her credit score is just dwindling right now.
Yeah, that's right.
As she is just waiting to pay off all the things she's bought.
Yeah.
You think about this too. If you win the lottery, it says that it usually takes 6 to 8 weeks for them to get you that money. So if they can figure it out, what's Squid Game's doing here?
Well, it's the first time they've done this. The lotteries.
True.
Yeah, but it's got to be in a contract though. She probably had to sign some contract of we'll pay you
within 7 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Once
She
we
didn't
make enough
read
money.
the fine print.